This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. Jaren, Child, and the Frog Lady land on Trask, where the Razor Crest takes more damage in a crash landing. Frog Lady reunites with her husband, who points him to an inn, where in the restaurant area of it, Jaren meets a Quarren who will take him to the Mandalorians. He gets on the Quarren ship, but soon learns
It's a trap!
the Quarren just want Beskar and feed the child into the Quarren's mother's mouth. Jaren jumps in to save them, but the Quarren trap him in, and he begins to drown, but is rescued at the last moment by Bo-Katan and two Night Owls. Jaren is outraged to learn that Bo-Katan and her troops remove their helmets, where Bo-Katan reveals that Jaren is part of a faction of the Mandalorians named the Children of the Watch, which Bo-Katan calls a group of religious zealots who broke off from Mandalorian culture. Bo-Katan tells Jaren she knows the location of a Jedi, and she will tell Jaren that if he helps her take an Imperial transport. Jaren agrees and leaves the child with the Frog Lady. They take most of the ship with ease, but the captain of the ship locks himself on the bridge and begs Moff Gideon for help. Moff Gideon refuses to help him and orders the captain to crash the ship into the ocean. Jaren, Bo-Katan, and the other Night Owls secure the bridge and return the ship to normal. Bo-Katan interrogates the Imperial captain to learn the location of the Darksaber. The Imperial captain only lets her know that she knows who has it, who we could assume is Moff Gideon, since we already know he has it from the end of episode 8. The captain kills himself because he knows that Moff Gideon would end him and his life is already over. Bo-Katan keeps her word and tells Jaren that he will find the Jedi Ahsoka Tano on the planet of Corvus. Jaren thanks Bo-Katan, picks up the child, and leaves in a poorly repaired Razor Crest to meet Ahsoka. I really enjoyed this episode. I feel like it was one of the best of the show, and I know you've been hearing that a lot from a lot of other channels, but I do think it's true. I don't know if this beats Chapter 8 or Chapter 3 possibly, but it's still an amazing one and definitely makes it into the top 3. I think that this would definitely beat the pilot, which is the only episode I think that comes close to comparing to it, not counting the previous two I've mentioned. Bo-Katan should be the second character from a Star Wars animated show to make it to live action, with the first being Saw Gerrera's appearance in Rogue One. I don't know if there are other characters, they may have been more minor, but that's no real difference. Unless you're counting Hondo at Galaxy's Edge, but I'm considering live action here as in a live action show or movie. Technically, Ahsoka's voice did appear in The Rise of Skywalker, but I'm talking about physically. Speaking of Ahsoka, she'll be the third character to transfer to live action from animated shows, unless my second thing is wrong and there's someone I forgot. Then she'll be whatever the number is after Bo-Katan, but it's likely she's in the top 4. These two characters are amazing characters. We already have one great storyline with this year, with the season 7 finale of Clone Wars, and then that one forgettable arc that they were both in. I think that the episode Ahsoka appears in will either be titled The Jedi, The Outcast, The Fallen, or something like that. I don't know exactly what it would be. And I was thinking initially that she would appear in the next episode, but after listening to different reviews, there were people saying that it may not happen next episode, so hearing stuff like that, I am now not 100% sure that'll happen next episode, but it's essentially 100% guaranteed that Ahsoka will appear by the end of the season, unless she's been killed off, because then Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau would just be messing with us, and I don't think that's something they would do. I also like the explanation given to why Din Djarin wears a helmet and the people in his clan do. They'll never remove it, but other Mandalorians don't. I like how he's part of a more extremist faction of the Mandalorians that is likely linked to Death Watch, mainly because of it being called Children of the Watch, and the fact that we saw Death Watch soldiers rescuing the young Mandalorian Din Djarin in the Season 1 Episode 8 flashback. I do hope the story of Revan is told once he meets Ahsoka, which would be set most likely in the style of the way the Mandalorian flashback in Star Wars Rebels Season 3 or 4 happened, explaining the Darksaber. And honestly, I wouldn't mind that much. I would just like a quick explanation of Revan and his confrontation with Mandalore. And I think this would be interesting if we made the Mandalore he faced against Tar Vizsla, the guy who created the Darksaber. At the latest, I think Ahsoka will appear in Chapter 14, because I think that he will begin the final mission, attacking the planet that is lava on it, which is either Navarro or Solist, with Greef Karga and Cara Dune at a minimum. Maybe Ahsoka and Cobb Vanth are there too, in the final 2 episodes, having a 2-part finale, like in the first season. I think it'd be interesting if Ahsoka was still on her way back from Malachor, but I don't know how that would work out, since Bo-Katan knows her location. But I do not think that she has completed the quest to finding Ezra yet, and we may see Sabine in that episode also, unless she's on a separate hunt, or they could have found Ezra and returned to him, but then that would have to deal with the return of Thrawn, and I don't know if the galaxy is going to be ready for that. Well, maybe not ready isn't the right word, but has the time for it, since it seems like nothing major really happens between the New Republic and the Empire between episodes 6 and 7. But of course that could be changed if Thrawn is alive. He could be the controlling force behind Moff Gideon, and could actually be a very interesting threat. If Thrawn is the force behind Moff Gideon, I think it would be more interesting if Din Djarin takes on Moff Gideon's minor fleet, or if Thrawn is alive, he doesn't control Moff Gideon's fleet, and we just learn he's alive, and we could get a spin-off series set up similarly to the Thrawn trilogy, where Luke, Han, Leia, and then possibly Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, and a few other characters from Rebels, Captain Rex, and some more characters take on Thrawn. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories, and may the Force be with you.